Yo, welcome back to another episode, GMAK, the Boiler Man. I know the picture's a little bit different than you normally see. I've been messing around with the lighting, figuring out different angles, and I'm also working some new equipment today, man. Got my new camera in. I told you guys I would. Already just looking at this screen, I can see the resolution is so much better. So we're giving this a test run. Sure, it'll come out great. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. On this one, I kind of wanted to get a little bit into, the fears that people have in starting their own business and the thought process I've had on, telling people just to start, man. And so we're going to get deep into that topic. If it's your first time here, man, welcome to the channel. We appreciate you guys being here. You don't even know how much gratitude I have every single day. I open up the app and see new subscribers and likes, comments. And like I've said many times over, if you drop a comment, I always return, some kind of comment back. And I love to have the back and forth banter. I've had a lot of people question our way of doing things or my way of doing things. So I'm open for debates, man. All the stuff you hear on this channel really comes from my heart. I don't really, I'm not taking this from textbooks or things I've read. It's just my experiences in the field and things I want to share with you. So if it is your first time here, please, man, hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button. Really helps the algorithm want to push our videos up to the top. And, get some viewership up. You know what I mean? We put a lot of work into this channel and trying to bring you the best of all the content we can, at least in our field or at least in the world of blue collar. That's kind of the area that we fit. So getting into the topic about, starting a business. And I heard a lot of people have fears, and I'll speak to my own fears. That first time you start, especially in the plumbing and heating space, man, it's not an easy decision to make. It takes money to start. You have to have a little bit of a backing, and you also have to find clients, and it's not the easiest thing to do. But, sometimes what ends up being a business starts off as a side hustle, right? I don't love the side hustles if you're working for another company, just because it can distract you from maybe building something great within that company. But if you're having, like a negative experience in the company you're with, a lot of guys on my team and a lot of guys I know in the industry do a lot of side work, man. I mean, that's the way it is. And when you're good at something, you know what I mean? People want you. People want to hire you. And what better way to really get your business jumped off than, starting off that way? And in a lot of ways, some of the customers that we've gotten, I've started by doing little side jobs for them. I obviously don't do side work inside my business. Everything inside my business is my business. But a lot of times it's just a matter of going out there to start. I think as a business owner, we spend too much time trying to calculate and put all the right pieces in place, and you're trying to fine tune everything. I can tell you right now, as somebody who's about to experience and celebrate 6 years of being in business, and I mean, I've been in business before that, but it wasn't my specific business. But someone who's a 6-year business owner, and you could say that's not a long time. It's a short period of time, but it's a long time compared to you if you're watching this and you haven't started yet. I can tell you that there's a lot of overthinking that goes into it when you start. You're trying to make all these little finite changes, and you want to make it perfect when you launch. And guess what? Till the very end, you're always going to be going back to the drawing board, making sure everything is working the way you want it to, make sure you're having clarity when it comes to refining the business. But the business will always it'll always need refining, and you're always going to be at the drawing table trying to figure out the next moves. My point in saying that is just start the business, man. Stop putting so much thought into it. Got to come up with a name, no doubt. Once you have that name, man, get running. Put it on, slap it on a truck. Don't slap it on a truck. Just get a truck. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a high-end truck. You don't have to spend 60 grand on a truck. You don't have to have all the beautiful racks. You don't have to have any of that. All you have to have is something that gets you from A to B, is reliable, and something you can work out of. And then you can start talking to people. And then you use social media. I don't know why to this day still, in the world that we live in, people don't use and utilize social media. It is the greatest tool. It's free. So you want to talk about, growing up. I remember watching my stepfather in the business, and he was all word of mouth anyway. But the point is, in that world, you had penny savers, you had newspapers, you didn't have the internet. You didn't have a way of reaching clients without either having a really good word of mouth funnel or building some kind of advertising, behind your product. In this world that we live in, your advertising is right here, right? You have a cell phone. You don't even need what I have. I upgraded. I've shot thousands and thousands and thousands of videos, and now finally I'm upgrading and fine-tuning my equipment to fit our needs, to build our social media platform. But we started with no followers, you know what I mean? We started with no content. So it starts with one video. 99% of the stuff you see us post, whether that be on different platforms or even this one, is shot with this phone. Yes, I have an iPhone. Doesn't matter what kind of phone you have. As long as the camera's good and the video shoots clean, man, you don't need a lot to get started. Don't overthink it. Stop trying to refine every detail of your business and just get going. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference in the world. While you're at it, you see, everywhere I go, and this is the thing, so this kind of coincides into branding. What is branding? You're your brand, man. If you're a single business owner and you don't have employees or team members, however you want to call them, I call them team members, couldn't do it without them. Branding is everything. So in the beginning, you don't have to go buying a ton of you can, these days, there's drop ship. There's so many ways to throw your logo on something and start representing yourself. So even when I'm not working, man, either I have the shirt and the hat, or I definitely always wear the hat. You never catch me with anything that's not GMAK related. That's for a couple of reasons, by the way. One is I love my company. I love what we built. I love my logo. I love the apparel that we've created. But the other part of that is marketing and branding. I'm constantly branding. So even on my personal page where I do family stuff and I talk about my dog and I do other things, I'm always wearing GMAK stuff because at the end of the day, it's all about awareness, right? So we want to drive awareness to your product. And if you're watching this and you're not in the plumbing or construction field, whatever, you just happen to stumble upon this page, this goes for any business, man. You want to be marketing and you want to be putting your stuff out there in people's faces so they can see it, so they can understand what it is that you do. And then now going back to the business side, as you are putting yourself out there, as you're growing your brand, as you're building your business, you're going to want to have things like insurance. You have to have backings. There are going to be things that you definitely need to have to start your business properly, especially in my type of business. I don't know what business you're in. For me, since there's a lot of liability, since we're working on big equipment, dangerous things can happen. People can get injured. You want to have insurance. You want to cover yourself. Those things, there's no doubt about. But once you have those bases covered, man, just get out there. Yes, it's exciting. Yes, it's scary. It's exciting and scary all at the same time, right? You're taking a chance. You don't know where it's going to go. But I can tell you, if you're the type of person that goes out there every single day, works really hard, is good with people, shake a lot of hands. And another piece of advice that I want to give you guys, and this is something I learned along the way, it does not matter if the person that's reaching out to you is in your particular business. Don't be afraid to go, shake hands, meet people. Doesn't matter, because one time or another, your paths can cross once again. I've met people that aren't even in my industry, shaking their hands, gone to their office, had sit downs with them, and somewhere down the road or even immediately, I've run into business. So don't be afraid to get out there, man. Don't be afraid to show your personality. You have to kind of be a little bit more of a social person. You don't have to be a complete extrovert, but being a hard introvert is going to be difficult in this business. Only because in the beginning, you really have to get that word of mouth. You really have to get the engine flowing. And the only way to do that is to be open to conversations, open to meeting people, open to being given suggestions and then running with it. But a lot of it is handshaking. A lot of it is growth through interaction. And if you're not good interacting with people, well, at the very least, you should have somebody with you that is good, because that's going to help you grow your business, at least initially. And then eventually, once you get a couple of clients, and your work can speak for itself, and then word of mouth will take on by itself. That's exactly what happened with us. So with that being said, man, I just want you to implore you, do not overthink it. Jump in, get started. Don't be afraid. At the end of the day, I always say to people, and I don't think with this mindset, my mindset is I'm going to go and win. But just let's say, for argument's sake, your mindset is you're a little bit shaky and you're not 100% sure. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You still have the skill, you still have the knowledge, you still have everything you had before you started the business. You can always retract back. Now, I don't like that way of thinking, so don't use that way of thinking. But if you're that type of person and you're worried, you can always revert back to what you were doing before, or you can go work for another company. It's one thing I can tell you about, blue collar these days and working in the trades is there's a shortage of hands, there's a shortage of brains, there's a shortage of people in general. So you're always going to have an opportunity somewhere, but you should never sit on your hands if you're really pushed and feel the desire to have your own stuff, to run your own business. It isn't for everybody, I can tell you that. It does take a lot of work, it does take a lot of energy, and it does take a lot of time, and it does, what's the good word? It challenges you, it's very challenging on multiple fronts. But it is also one of the most fruitful things I've ever done with my life. I love being able to run my own thing and be the source of somebody else putting food on their table and feeding their families and all that. So it does come with a lot of stress, does come with a lot of aggravation, but it is very fruitful. I hope you win. I hope you succeed. If you have any questions for us, or anything I can help you with as it pertains to this topic. If you have some other topics that you'd like to get, my perspective on, please drop a comment below. Don't be afraid. Let's get the conversation going. We appreciate you guys being here, spending a few minutes with us. We're making them a little bit longer, but I don't want to make them too long where you're sitting in the car and you're like, okay, I'm so sick of listening to this guy. When I get into topics that go a little bit longer and are a little bit more involved, then we'll go a little bit longer. But for right now, these little shorter, 10, 11, 12 minute videos have been really hitting the spot, and I know people's attention spans aren't great. So I try to bring some energy, I try to bring some love. I got a lot of New York in me. Hopefully that, is something you enjoy watching. And like I said again, drop a comment below. Let us know what we could do better. Let us know some topics maybe you want to hear from us. We appreciate you guys, man. We wish you nothing but the best. Like I said, if there's anything we can do to help you, drop a comment below. Otherwise, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Peace.